I'm telling you, that's one. The way we just did that. If we could snap our fingers and get every single human walking the planet to listen to that one, the world would be a better place.
Welcome to the Spartan DECA series on Spartan Up with Jared Cogswell, Director of Sport, and Yancey Culp, Director of Programming.
What's up, Spartans? Welcome to the DECA series on the Spartan Up podcast. I'm your co-host, Jared Cogswell, along with my brother, Yancey Culp. All right, today we are talking and asking ourselves, are we flamethrowers or are we fire extinguishers?
This episode of Spartan Up is brought to you by Durolane, a single injection that may provide up to 6 months relief from osteoarthritis knee pain. Risks can include general knee pain and pain at the injection site. You can see full prescribing information at durolane.com.
What's up, my brother?
It's a good day to be alive, my friend. Good day to be alive, my friend. And I really enjoyed our little conversation yesterday that kind of set this one up, brother.
Yeah, we got to talking yesterday about leadership, teamwork, conflict, communication, all of those things wrapped in one. It's a YCJC conversation every single day. And we started developing some mantras and some themes to it. And we started asking ourselves, are we flamethrowers or are we fire extinguishers? Expand on that, brother.
Well, in the last episode, we briefly talked about some of our times in the corporate world and when we were leading big teams, and we stumbled across some of the mistakes that we had made and a lot of the areas where we've learned over the years. And I had a great conversation with an old HR director back in the day, and we started talking about, when the what's hitting the fan and we're in rough situations, as a leader and as a communicator and as a team member, are you somebody, when you're in those situations, that brings a flamethrower to the meeting or the conversation or the situation, or do you bring a fire extinguisher? And it really doesn't matter. I think this is kind of a non-debatable. I think of Robert De Niro in Robert Duvall, I should say, in Apocalypse Now, when he's walking down the freaking beach and bombs are going off everywhere, and he's calm, cool, and collected. No matter what the situation is, I think bringing that fire extinguisher, dampening that fire a little bit, and then diving in to the situation, no matter how bad it is, versus pouring, dumping gas on it, shooting it with the flamethrower. It's too. Most people, I think, lean one way or the other, and I can tell you by experience, the situations where I've been in, when I brought the fire extinguisher, things went a lot better. And the other leaders that were leading me, when they did that, man, I was much more inclined to be a much better teammate.
Yeah, and you made me think about, good leaders and good teammates. They're passionate about what they do, right? So it gets emotional.
Mm-hmm.
When you're really passionate about what you're doing, and you last week we talked about protecting the team, protecting the brand, because you're passionate about what you do. You're passionate about your work. I mean, every single day we're protecting DECA. We love DECA. We love our team. We love the community. We love DECA Nation. And it gets emotional. And I think the first thing that you have to do before you speak, before you bring your opinions and your ego into the conversation, you need to do your research. You need to be educated. There's a lot of armchair quarterbacks that think they know what they're talking about because maybe they listen to a podcast and like this, and now they know what the hell they're doing, so they can speak their mind and those types of things. And that's okay, as long as you're bringing the solution to the problem. It's not just about the problem. And I am a believer, we don't want to spend too much time on the problem, but we do want to figure out how the problem started so that we could prevent it for the future. Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts on that?
I've had the great pleasure to be inside high school locker rooms, hundreds and hundreds of games, in situations where, and many times when maybe we're down and when you've played real shitty in the first half, a lot of mistakes were made, and the coaches that got the greatest results, the leaders that got the greatest results in those situations, that they were the ones that weren't radically reactive. It came in and flipping and screaming and throwing tables over and knocking cups off the table and just, they came in with what you said, with a solution. They came in as like, these are the things I saw. They didn't come in and start bashing the team. They lifted the team up in a time when it's obvious that they are very down. They know they've screwed up. They know they're losing. You don't need to drive that home again. They know that. It's crystal freaking clear. And they brought solutions, and immediately, that first 5 to 10 seconds and brutal situations sets the tone. And it doesn't matter how ugly it gets. When you, I don't like to use the word soften it, but when you put the fire out a little bit there with your approach, man, it's a freaking game changer. And I don't think that is debatable.
You know what? You made me think of Bill Cowher, the great legendary coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
And one time I remember watching them playing their rival. This is when the Bengals and Steelers used to just have some battles. And Cincinnati was playing them tough. And I remember, like, Bill Cowher, I mean, come on, he's a fiery dude, right? And I'm not sure what he said to those players on the sidelines, but I don't think he was berating them for how bad they were playing, but it was about raise the intensity. Okay, that's a solution. If you need to raise the intensity, then that's what's going to help solve this problem. Maybe he felt like they were too lax. They weren't matching the energy and the intensity of the Bengals. And he was telling them, this is what we're going to do. Not how bad we're playing, but this is what we're going to do. And it was the craziest switch. I'm not even a Steelers fan, okay? But I am a Bill Cowher fan. And Yancey, I'd like to get a little fiery. But I remember that game, and they didn't allow the Bengals another yard for the rest of the game. I mean, it was all about the intensity. That's when they had some great teams too. Remember Greg Lloyd?
Oh,
I mean, just
blonde, beautiful blonde hair.
Oh no, that was Green. That was Kevin Green.
Oh, that's Kevin Green.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, but and Green was on that team, and he was a fiery guy.
Yeah, that's who I thought of.
Yeah, rest in peace to Kevin Green. But I think the other piece to this, but you have to have a code. You have to have a code of conduct, an agreement amongst your team. Back in 1999, I took over a business that was losing $2.5 million per year. Okay, this team that I inherited had a losing mentality, like it was almost okay. And it was my job to turn this around. And being a young general manager, I knew I had to get consensus. I had to get buy-in from the rest of the team if we were really going to turn this around. So I started asking the team, what irritates you? What frustrates you? What are the things that we don't do well that we need to turn around? And so those were the problems, right? So we listed out all the problems. So what we did is 180 all of those problems and turn them into solutions. This is how we're going to act. This is how we're going to behave. And anybody that comes off course, we're going to get you back on track quick. We're going to hold you accountable to the code. This is our new code. And within 18 months, we were in the black. And 3 years later, there wasn't a fitness business in the whole Pacific Northwest that could even touch us because it was the code. We were all aligned with the mission. Everybody knew the intensity they had to bring to work every day. They knew how to communicate. One of our codes was, we don't say, I don't know. If we have to say, I don't know, it's followed with, but let me find out immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And that was getting that team aligned with the mission. So the other thing that we have to remember is the team has a much better chance of solving any problems versus one individual, right? So it goes with leadership, goes with teamwork. And you go back to the Bill Cowher example, he was getting his team back and aligned with that mission, because Pittsburgh Steelers football, as I know it, the Steel Curtain,
Mm-hmm.
they play with intensity. And he was getting them back on track with their code.
You gave a good halftime speech, brother, to your team up there in the Pacific Northwest. I'm a Cowboy fan. Lost 2 Super Bowls, 35-31, 21-17 to Steelers. We came back and got a little revenge on that Bill Cowher team back in the 90s. But I love and respect a good team, even if you kind of consider them the enemy a little bit.
We'll be right back to this interview, but first a message from today's sponsor, Durlane. You know that knee pain can really slow you down. Sometimes that knee pain is due to osteoarthritis, a disease that affects some 14 million Americans. Learn about osteoarthritis knee pain and how to alleviate it at oakneepainrelief.com. You'll find information there about non-surgical, non-opioid treatments for osteoarthritis knee pain that may help delay the need for knee surgery. One treatment you'll find there is Durlane, a single injection that may provide up to 6 months of relief from osteoarthritis knee pain. It's indicated for the treatment of mild to moderate osteoarthritis knee pain when conservative treatments have not worked. Risks can include general knee pain and pain at the injection site. Full prescribing information is at Durlane.com. Spartans say no to limits. You can learn more at oakneepainrelief.com. That's oakneepainrelief.com. All right, back to the interview.
Here's something that is extremely hard to stick with, but it is always effective if you can stick with it. Almost no matter what you see or hear, you're looking from afar and you hear something or you read something. Social media is the most brutal example here. Right when you see it or hear it, people are so inclined to quickly jump to conclusions instead of taking a step back, hit the pause button, take a deep breath. At work, we see it all the time. We've called it water cooler talk for a long time. You hear the chatter and you can see it happening over there. And it's like, that conversation is probably not good. And there's a lot of things that are being said that you wouldn't say it if you were right there face to face around the table and everybody that you were talking about, if everybody was there, you'd rephrase that a little bit. Social media allows that kind of that little protective barrier. You dive into something, you say something in a certain way that you wouldn't do it if that person was right there with you. Damn good and well, you'd rephrase it. I always say, and even a husband and wife team, guys are bad about getting together, and wives as well. They'll get together and they'll my wife this or that, or my husband this or that. And you know what? In every situation, work, family, social media, if you'll hit the pause button and you say, you know what? The microcosm is a microcosm. We're a team here in the home, the community, my city, my state, my country, and the beautiful planet of ours. We are all on a team. And if we will do and say and act as if everybody was around my table right now in front of me, and I'm going to say it how I would if they were right there. If you will stick with that, instead of, we call it gossip, we call it the water cooler talk. If you'll step back from that and say it just like it was, if they're right there in front of you, you're in the middle of shaking their hand and you got something bad you want to say. You say it like it was if they were right there in front of you. You made skin contact and then you started communicating. I'm telling you right now, the world would immediately be a better place. Every single team would improve on the spot if we could all be a little better version of ourselves when it comes to that conversation, brother.
The thing that I take away from that too, Yancey, is the constant reminder when we spent 16 days in the 16-footer on Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
Yeah, man.
Is your lesson about the pause button. The pause button allows you to really soak in the situation and really start focusing on the solution, also recognizing maybe what's caused the problem. But the pause button is so imperative, and we need to hit it more. We need to hit it every single day, multiple times, before we get emotionally charged in a negative way. Or if we get a negative mindset overall and it affects us emotionally, we need to hit the pause button. We need to hit the pause button and even think about, gratitude. What are the things to be grateful for today versus the things that I'm pissed off about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or frustrated. That pause button lesson has really been a game changer for me. And I learned that from you. The other thing that I would say is this: we're all going to make mistakes. There's all things that, I look back personally, professionally, a lot of regrets, things that I wish that never happened. However, I do look back and say, gosh, that was almost a blessing. As bad as that was at that time, it was almost a blessing for who I am today. And, this happens on the golf course a lot, right? At least for me. I hit a lot of bad shots, okay? And I don't know who it was. It might have been Tiger Woods or some awesome golfer out there. But the lesson there is mistakes are going to happen. And you have no choice but to play your misses.
Yep.
Play your misses. Do whatever it takes to get out of that spot that you put yourself in, because ultimately the choice was yours, right?
Yes,
so, I think, again, we can complain. We can be that flamethrower, and just get all riled up and be a source of negativity. But when you have that fire extinguisher or that firefighter mentality, I think it's going to, one, you're going to play your misses more. You're going to hit the pause button, and you're going to be a better communicator. And you know what? Sometimes you just got to keep your mouth shut. Sometimes you just need to keep your mouth shut and listen. And then when you really soak it all in, then provide your commentary, your thoughts, your suggestions. And it's more authentic, it's more sincere, and people are going to listen back.
And sometimes you just really transparent and honest with the listeners. I got a yard guy out there mowing. I got a dog barking. If you're hearing some background noise, that's because Coach Yancey did not prepare his podcast environment very well today, my friends. Play your misses, brother. I love that one so much. Hit the pause button. And you and I are going to give everybody this one today. Every conversation that you're in on, every email exchange, every text message exchange, every phone call, every Zoom, Google Hangout meeting, every time you're not around, and so you're in a situation where all those people you're talking about, are talking with, are critiquing, they're not right there in your little circle around a coffee table drinking coffee together where you could give fist bumps. It's in some other situation. Let's promise each other we're going to hit the pause button in that moment, and we're going to say, you know what? I'm going to communicate in a way right now as if they were right here with me, all of you, everybody on this big, beautiful team of ours. And I'm going to communicate in a way that would say, you know what? I think I disagree. I even disagree with what he said, but I appreciate the way he approached it. Mm-hmm. And the team gets better, man. The world gets better right there, brother.
I don't want this episode to go without, I wrote down 4 points here. And again, it's about being solution oriented versus being that flamethrower of negativity. And again, at the same time, I do think you gotta throw some flames out there every once in a while to ignite the passion that's needed on an everyday basis. But when problems arise, look at the possible outcomes. Envision the future and create that visual with others and within yourself. Number 2 is think strategically, methodically. If we have a problem, how are we going to get out of this? Don't focus so much on the problem. You need to understand what caused the problem to prevent it, but focus on the strategic ways to get out of it. Number 3 is forget the excuses. Nobody cares. Okay? Excuses don't mean anything when you have a problem to solve. Forget the excuses. Just move forward, fall forward. And then the last one is always look towards your tribe, your family, your team. Look for collaboration, because all of that together collectively is going to be much better than you just trying to figure it out on your own. That's what brings us all together, you know, and it's a really special, powerful thing when you get more people involved within your tribe to help you solve problems. It's going to make you feel more comfortable, more confident within yourselves. And it's going to really eliminate the ego factor, because you're part of something bigger than yourself.
I think the only thing would have made this better, brother, if we'd have been doing this one side by side in person. And I get to spend a couple days with you here coming up at Ursa. I'm excited we're back in the game, living and loving life together with a bunch of people that love the fitness industry. We missed it last year, man. I'm really, really excited to see you. And we got our small little DECA team there, Connor and Marshall and you and I, and the Ram folks will be there. So it's going to be a good week of doing fitness up in Dallas, Texas, brother.
Yeah, it's going to be great to be in your home state.
Let's go.
Love you, brother.
Love you too, man.
Let's go.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the DECA series on Spartan Up Podcast. Spartan Up is your partner in resilience for mind, body, and spirit. We're here 3 days every week. Tuesdays, you can find Joe DeSena, founder and CEO of Spartan, interviewing biohackers, business leaders, authors, and athletes. Thursdays and Saturdays, catch episodes from our DECA, Endurance, Trail, Combat, and La Ruta series. Do you know someone who needs a little nudge? Maybe they could use some motivation, tactics to be stronger, healthier, happier, more successful. Tell them about our show. And if you're watching on YouTube, leave us a comment. We want to know who's watching and who's listening. Thanks. See you next time. This episode of Spartan Up is brought to you by Durolane, a single injection that may provide up to 6 months relief from osteoarthritis knee pain. Risks can include general knee pain and pain at the injection site. You can see full prescribing information at durolane.com.